I'm saying no to procrastination. That's right. So, before I begin, I must say that in the past couple years, some amazing things has unfolded. And all of this happened because of the realization that there's so much to be done. So many of the things that I want to accomplish in my life could be done. And I needed to gather the recipe in order for me to get there. For many, many years, I felt like a failure and I felt like I was just being lazy and not using my full potential, which was the right assumption because I had a lot in me, but I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to actually take actions and do the things that I'm supposed to do in order for me to arrive at the places that I want to get to. So, the first thing is I did an inventory of the things that I've done, the things that I want to do, the things that I'm good at, the things that I suck at. And in that inventory, one must be super honest with himself or herself because it hurts. It hurts to start writing down these things. It hurts to realize the things that we're not good at and the things that we want to achieve that are not even there yet and that seem so far away from us when in reality, time flies and it's way closer than we think. Now, the first thing I've done is the inventory to make sure that I'm honest with myself, to make sure that I know exactly where I want to go. And with that, I've created my blue map. Like it's a map in order for me to understand where I want to go. Because without direction, then you're just going in circles, you're chasing your own tail, and that's what I was doing for many years. And I found myself in the same place over and over. So I let that go. I let go of the past. I forgave myself for all the things in the past, all the things that I haven't done, all the things that I've done wrong. I forgave myself for that. And I only started looking at what's in front of me, what's the future. The second I started doing that, I saw a map. And I think that it's very understandable to be lost when you want to get to a certain point. And hey, thank you. Okay, I'll say balls. Hilarious. So once I saw the map and I visualized exactly where I want to go, then I knew what I had to do. And I had to reverse engineer. Okay, so this is where I want to go. What do I have to do? Thank you. Thank you for owning to your word. And now once I figured out what I have to do, then I had to deconstruct all the things and take the steps. And I kid you not, in the past couple of months, I've been dabbling a lot with AI, and I knew nothing about AI. Like, of course, I've heard of ChatGPT and everything, but I had no idea what AI was. And I started dabbling with AI and ChatGPT, and I'm like, I asked ChatGPT, like, here's where I want to go. Like, give me the actual steps of what to do. And I was mind blown. Maybe I'm a boomer here, but I was mind blown by the results of the steps to take in order for you to get to a certain point. And I'm like, okay, so there's no excuses because the plan is already there for me. Now, back in the days, we used to have to figure this out by ourselves. Like, we had to like, okay, so where do I want to go? This is the step I have to take. Here you go. Then there's a bump on the road. Then we give up. Then we start again, and we do it. We do that over and over again. But the second I saw the map, I'm like, okay, so this is the type of person that I must be in order for me to get there. So getting better results, taking better care of my health, of my wealth, of my brain, and just understanding what my finances are all about and where I want to go. And all of these things made me who I am today. I really felt like sharing today the steps that I took, and everything has changed for me in the past couple of years. In the past 3 years, like my life has totally transformed. And I'm not trying to sell you something here. I just want to share because I know somebody was exactly where I was back then. They were a little bit lost, didn't know where to go, and once I've created the map and was very honest with myself on what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. Then I started acting, because the number one thing that people do, and on my TikTok page, the Side Hustle Realist, so many people send me DMs and they're like, where do I go? Where do I start? All that stuff. And I always tell them, like, what have you done? That's the problem, is that we keep on being stuck in the research phase. We are totally stuck in analysis paralysis, and we just want to research as much as possible towards the things that we want to do, when in reality, for many years, we haven't accomplished anything. And I think this is, once you realize that you haven't done anything to get to your goals, then you start moving. The second I started making some moves and really acting upon what I want to do, for example, I was working a 9 to 5. I hated it. I was miserable. I hated the whole office thing, the corporate world. I was getting a nice pay. I was working for big pharma and was getting a nice pay, but I quickly realized that I don't fit in. Like, my heart is not there. I literally want to do things on my own. I want to be my own boss. I want to be self-made pretty much. And I hated the whole corporate thing where I had to wear a mask all day and just fake it. So it wasn't for me. The second I started making my moves where I'm gonna work on myself for my side hustle in order for one day be my own boss, then everything changed, because I took real actions. And a lot of times people ask me, like, does it have to do with online world? Is it e-com? Is it, drop shipping, or any of these aspects that are online? Because that's what we see the most. If you search on YouTube how to make money, the first things you're going to see is e-commerce, Shopify, Amazon selling, all that stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm saying I took a different route. I took the service routes, and I started my pickup and delivery service in the dry cleaning business, as well as laundry care. Slowly, I started gathering one or two customers here and there, and with time, I was making more money with that side hustle than my salary, and that's when I said, I'm calling it quits. I'm done. Like, if I'm able to make that much money part time, imagine how much I'm able to make even more with more time in a full time gig. So that's exactly what I did, and all of this happened because I decided to pull the trigger and do the thing. We can be stuck in our minds. Gary Vaynerchuk says it all the time, and I really love that character. And he always says, like, stop being in your head, and he's totally right about that. Like, we're always in our mind, always in our head, always thinking about what other people are going to think, what our family going to think about this idea. What if I do a full drastic change in my life, and what are people going to say? They're going to laugh at me. I'm going to make some online content, all that stuff. When in reality, people are not even thinking about you. Like, on a daily basis, most people are not even thinking about you. That's something that I had to change in my life, because I always thought that, it's the end of the world if I do certain things that are very uncomfortable. And this brings me to a very delicate subject here, is how comfortable we can be in life. We can be stuck in that comfort for a very, very long time. And we see it. I mean, we see people that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s telling the youngsters, like, just follow your dreams, do what you got to do, because you don't want to leave any regrets in this world. And why would we? At the end of the day, taking the steps necessary to get to our goals is never a failure. Some people say that they're afraid of failure and anything like that, but of course, it's definitely things you can learn, but failures hurt. That's for sure. But it's all a learning curve. At the end of the day, you're going to be better at different things, and by rinse and repeat and doing the action over and over, you're just gonna be better. One of the main things that I had to change in my life is trying to do everything. All right. So once I knew how to take action and how to take a risk, I wanted to do everything. So one of the things actually is something that I'm doing right now, which is YouTube. I started posting videos, and I realized that I really loved it and I liked it and everything, but it was taking way too much time from my business, and I had to prioritize. A few of my videos did okay, and then some of them did very well in in my view, of course, we're not comparing oranges to apples here, but in my view, like I think I got like 80 something thousand followers, views on one video, and I was ecstatic. I was super excited about that. So I'm like, you know what? This is not the time, because I need to set my life first with my business, and then I can have fun and start posting videos, because YouTube is not going anywhere in my opinion. So I'm like, you know what? Let's take a break on that. Let's try to narrow the output that I'm gonna bring out there, the energy that I'll put more very specific. And that led me to make less and less and less videos online, of course. Now I started making TikTok videos way more, because TikTok videos doesn't take that much time for me. It's literally like grab, shoot, and go. And within my first year on TikTok with my side hustle realist channel, I was able to gather close to 80,000 followers right now. And it's really cool because it's slowly becoming a business. I'm consulting with people. I'm like helping people to start their side hustle and their business, and it's slowly becoming a thing. I never thought that it was going to get there. I was doing it for fun, but it shows that I had to accommodate what I'm going to do with the time that I have. So the time that I had was very small, so TikTok was good for me. And then I started another page which recently reached 16,000 followers. And on that page, I think there's like, in the last 30 days, there's like 7 million views, which is incredible. I kind of know how to do short format content right now, and I'm learning how to do long format content, which pretty much leads me to this conversation of like, you just got to try things, trying as many things as possible in order for you to see what you're good at and double down on that. And the things that you're not good at, either you delegate, you learn, or you dismiss. These are the principles that I use. For my businesses, I had to learn how to scale. I started something that was generating some money. Now I had to stay outside of my business, operate my business instead of being an operator of my business, and then keep on rinse and repeating that. Of course, I'm just in the initial stages of all that. I'm only starting in business. I really see very far with my businesses and where I want to go. But what I've learned is that you have to try different things to see what's gonna stick on the wall, and then you grab that and you double down on it. That's pretty much it. If you just follow the guideline where, number one, you assess who you are, you make an inventory of what you're good at and what you're bad at. Second of all, you define a clear vision of where your goals are going to be, like how your goals are going to look like, how they're going to smell like. And I suggest a book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maltz. Dr. Maltz. And he really helps you define your vision when it comes to your goals, like to see it clearly. Your messaging and your goals, they have to be clear in your head. Like that, you don't allow your brain to go left and right. You're going on a straight arrow. This is where you're going, and you're not leaving from there until you see some sort of success. Now, the third part is take action as much as possible. Do not give up on action. This is the most important thing, is to move quick, because someone else is moving quick and is taking your part of the cake, your part of the market. You have to move fast. Don't let people cross you. And also don't get absorbed by research phase, because analysis paralysis is a real thing. You can literally stay in research mode for many, many years when thinking about a project, and then next thing you know, somebody already accomplished more than anything you've ever done in your life. So you got to move fast. You have to move quick. You have to knock at doors. You have to not be afraid. You have to forget about, I'm going to be cringy or this or that. Forget about what people think. It's you versus you. You're trying to impress yourself, no one else. As long as you come with that mentality, I think that a lot of things could change. For me, everything changed. My mindset, my body, my family, like my finances, everything has changed by following these principles. And I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope everyone is doing good. Have a good one.